Hello. All right. Hello, hello. I am Sierra W. Garcia. I am a certified personal trainer and behavioral change specialist. I am so excited to be here with you. You'll have to forgive me. I'm trying this on multiple cameras because the first take didn't take, so I'm double and triple making sure that this is going to work this time. A little bit about me. I'm a certified personal trainer, as I said, and a behavioral change coach. What that means is just I'm able to help people implement new habits that will help them build towards the goals and create a new standard of life that they want to live. Um, Not only that, I'm someone who has walked this path myself. My fitness journey began when I was 12 years old, and my mother, who suffers from depression, would try every avenue to try to get herself feeling better and functioning better in the world. And she really did try everything. And this time, or at that time, it was going to the gym. So she made me her gym buddy, and it kind of flourished from there. Above all, it showed me that movement and fitness overall, it's so much more than physical. And my company, LYNX Wellness, is just that, LYNX Wellness, more than physical. We're going to dive into body, mind, and soul work today, how we can connect all three and make them work really harmoniously so that you can get back on track wherever you're at in your fitness journey and make it really palatable for you to maintain and sustain this healthy lifestyle. My fitness journey began when I was 12, like I said, and in 2020, I kind of realized that I was getting off track after a pretty brutal breakup. It always goes that way, doesn't it? At least for me, it did. And it really put into motion the call to grab my power back, to regain my strength as a woman and understand that what I was seeing in the mirror did not look recognizable anymore, not only in physical form, but more so the mental capacity. I remember I would be scrolling Instagram and I would save workouts that I knew I could do, that I knew I've done in the past, and I was really just mesmerized by these fitness influencers that were moving every single day. And I took a look at myself. I had about 60 pounds to lose, and I could feel it like drudging up in me, like I was moving toward that space where I could find movement again. And it one day, there's this thing in me that I have. It's your intuition, come to find out through this work, that really understood when I was ready to go. I'm ready to go. And as I was scrolling and saving those images, a really profound and beautiful thing happened to me. My best friend moved next door. That catapulted off again into a beautiful, flourishing friendship for 3 years. And we stepped into the gym together again. Actually, even before that, we started working out from home, and I purchased my first online fitness program from one of my favorite influencers and coaches online that I had found. And it really took off from there. That same friend also guided me and really put it in my head that she was pursuing her certification with NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine, just purely for knowledge. And I said, well, let me go ahead and do that too. And I had no idea it was going to take me into the field of personal training, online coaching, and now doing my favorite thing, talking to women as far and wide as I can to let them know, to let us know, and build a community that we deserve to be strong. We deserve to take up space and feel comfortable in our bodies and take our power back with just that. So I'm so excited and grateful, honored to be here, and really, really humbled because this is so much a space that I've wanted to be in for a really long time, and I'm looking forward to venturing into this with you today. So with that, I have an ebook that you're going to get as your gift at the end of today, that we're going to kind of work through together. And that book, the first iteration of it, and this summit now is just a manifestation of what I have been conjuring over the last several years of my life that have led me to this place, and that I'm so profoundly grateful to be in. and exactly where I belong. And I hope that you can find something today that is really useful for you, that you feel like you can walk away knowing a little bit more about how to shake and move in the world of strength training and conditioning and proper nutrition and getting back into your soul and back into your body. I'm a firm believer that, movement is not a punishment situation. We don't work out so that we can eat that food. We are working and moving our bodies to create longevity. When I'm working with my clients online particularly, it's always a reminder that it's never a punishment or fix ourselves. You may have weight to lose, like I did. I lost 60 pounds. And that's beautiful. That's great. But that's a byproduct of implementing new strategies, new habits to meet those standard of living that you create for yourself. And the why is everything. Your why is so important. And I want to dive a little bit into that today and understand that, we all have space enough for ourselves, and everything we need to exist is right here. I am literally in this work so that I can continue to develop that understanding within myself. And it's more or less just to come along this journey with me, and I'm going to share as much of my knowledge as I can so that we can all do it a little bit together. And it's become in my career so far like watch Sierra do this, and you can do it too. I'm trying to create a door to allow women the permission to feel powerful and empowered in our own bodies. We are redefining wellness here to be sustainable, joyful, and really, truly, deeply personal. Once you start diving into this work, it's really understood that this is why it can matter so much to you. Yes, we start with physical movement, and we're going to talk about the body in just a second as the first catalyst to this work. We start with movement, but what that ends up doing is it starts to move your mind, and it starts to let you understand what you're capable of and reaching new potentials. And then that potential, that understanding in your mind, allows you to connect when you're feeling outside of your body to bring it back in with a little bit of movement. And then you can start to move and shake on a deeper level and understand, and maybe even redefine your why or your understanding of how to stay connected and keep this sustainable work moving in throughout your entire life to create the longevity that we're all looking for. I don't know about you. I am on a mission to die strong. I don't really have any other sweeter way or turn of phrase to put other than I want to leave this earth not being a burden to my family, and not that is ever the case that anybody wants to do, and I understand that, so forgive me again for if this is a little bit offbeat, but what I mean to say is I'm taking care of myself now, not only for myself, but for my family, so that I don't have to have assistance, for instance, moving around. And again, not that there's anything wrong with that. I have so many loved ones that are in really good health and well into their 90s that take care of themselves now too, but still require a little assistance, and that is inevitable. My goal here is to create a stronger, longer life rather than just for the quantity of life in and of itself. So with that, let's dive a little bit into the framework of body, mind, and spirit work as they get to work in harmony with each other. And this can all be found in the ebook, but I highly suggest grabbing your notebook so you can take notes, which I'm sure you already have, because this is a summit space, and that's just what we do as girlies in the summit space. At least I think so. So first of all, moving with purpose. Movement is truly essentially the catalyst, the opening up the foundation of health, because if you can get moving every single day, it's really going to change your chemistry within your brain and your body almost instantly. We all know about the dopamine, oxytocin, what is the other one? Oh, the endorphins, right? Elle Woods. Endorphins make you happy. And it really is truly that simple. This movement with your body that I'm going to challenge you to do, this is challenge number 1, is just to get moving 7,500 steps a day. If you're already meeting that, 10,000 steps a day. If you're already meeting that, 15,000 steps a day. The idea with movement is more than what you already do to burn the calories that it takes for you to just breathe. Now, there is a baseline for everybody, and I go into depth with this in the ebook, which you will get a copy of. But we're just talking about getting your body moving so that you can start moving your brain. And I have some of the best ideas when I'm at the gym, or when I'm on a walk with my pups, or I'm catching up with a girlfriend on a walk on the beach path. And it really is a very connective experience. So getting at least 7,500 steps in, just as like a starting point. You can count those steps with your phone if you carry your phone everywhere around you. If you've got a watch or a Fitbit, something along those lines, really easy to start counting your steps, and a really like nonchalant way of starting the fitness journey. That coupled with 30 minutes of at least 2 to 3 times a week strength training, and that can be done with like really body weight, push-ups, squats, lunges, sit-ups, any type of body weight training that's going to get you moving for 30 minutes under your body weight to start, and then you can start to gradually add load or weights on top of that. The key being you do want to enter into that upper echelon of weight training. What that does is it triggers your muscles, and when your muscle is under tension, a lot of really beautiful things happen with that connectivity and that central nervous system into the brain. And it's honestly, this has been tested for so many years now by some of the most brilliant minds in our generation now, currently, that I've read. It is actively fighting dementia. We are actively fighting with neuroplasticity. When your body is under a weighted load, or if you're just starting off with body weight work, you're talking to your mind, and your body is beginning to feel this tension that it has to fire these new synapses. Okay, it's neuroplasticity. Everything is firing within your brain to understand how to deal with this new stress. But it is a very good stress. There are good and bad. This one is a very good one. So 2 to 3 times a week with strength training, along with walking and water. Boom, there you go. And a really great way to get steps in every day is taking a 10 to 15 minute brisk walk after every meal that you have. And I mean, that can add up really quickly. And it also helps with your digestive system. Immediately afterward, it's going to help you metabolize a lot faster that food that you've energized your body with, because we're going to be making better choices with food and all of the most beautiful things. So those are a wonderful way to kick off any kind of fitness journey that's really sustainable. It's not going to take up too much of your time. And because I know I work with a lot of busy moms or busy young women who are on a mission to create a career for themselves because they want to be independent, and it's amazing. And what I want to start doing, and what I have set out to do in my career, is allow women to understand that if you're not pouring into your health first, everything else is going to suffer because of it. Or you're going to make it a lot harder for yourself if you're not pouring into this particular notion that your health has to come first. Otherwise, you cannot pour into anybody else. 2025 is the year of the overpour. What I mean by that is we're going to start filling up ourselves, and this is strictly for women because I am a coach for the girlies, okay? Like, I will work with men, but I just charge them more money because if you know, you know. But to teach women that pouring into yourself first, taking the time, is not selfish. We allow our cup to fill and overflow into everybody around us. No more, and gone are the days of pouring from a half-empty cup. Okay? Yes? Okay, because that is such a dangerous, slippery slope that we get on as women. We carry so much weight in this world, emotionally, mentally, physically, that people just can take for granted. And living in a patriarchal society, that's kind of the way that we run anyway, and it's a lot. So gone are the days that we are feeling apologetic for taking an hour or 45 minutes out of our day to go on a walk and lift some weights and fuel our body the right way and have a beautiful meal and create beautiful meals for our families so that we can then pour into everybody else from our overflow. 2025, year of the overflow, honey. Okay. Again, we're moving into the mindset now. That does lead into, when you pour into yourself, how you speak to yourself matters. And what I have learned throughout the last, I would say, 6 years is a really beautiful short morning meditation of any kind is a great way to reconnect with just a quick little reset. Before you grab your phone in the morning, the alarm goes off, you hit stop. No snooze. You hit stop. You take 5 minutes of your morning to do some diaphragmatic breathing. In for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds at the top. And release for 6. Focusing only on the breath that you have to take before your day gets started. Following that up with 3 to 5 things in your journal that you're grateful for will set you up for a day of success. Once you have that engine running and you have that new habit that you don't have to be perfect at to begin with, once you have that, you can be set up for the rest of your day, even before you get moving. So these are little habits that we're stacking over time to create a bigger picture, to create bigger change. It's the little things every single day that we decide to do that can contribute to that new standard of living that we want, that we are looking for, that we are striving for. And one thing that I have to tell and remind my clients of pretty often, and myself too, is that this takes effort. Whatever kind of changes we're making in our lives, we know, because this is the work that we get to do on a regular basis because of what we're interested in. That's why we're here at this summit. Change requires effort. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And that's a really buzzy thing to say these days. I've heard it so many times on the internet lately. And I think it's really beautiful because it simplifies everything. It makes it really simple so that you can understand that, well, I've been doing this. I'm still doing it and I still feel the same way that I felt about myself before, but let me just try this. It's really uncomfortable. It really doesn't feel great. It's out of my realm of knowing. We can start to lean into that and know that that's where we find those new potentialities within ourselves. And that's when our mind starts to get triggered and in a more positive way that, well, I did it yesterday. I can do this again. Let me just take a breath and do it again. So making a little morning meditation a part of your beautiful morning rituals can be a part of stacking those little decisions one on top of the other. And then you're going to reach that new standard of living that you've been looking for. Again, as well, I should say, screen-free hour every day. No phones, no TVs, no tablets, no ebooks, none of that. Get a book. Go draw. These are all listed in the ebook as well, just ideas of how to get screen-free time and how to take a little bit more understanding and time for yourself in a really easy way that's sustainable and doesn't require a lot of time. It doesn't require you to create this on your own. The ideas are there, but more so just remembering to take the time to play, to reconnect with yourself, to understand that, yes, our social world is so beautiful and it has afforded me so many opportunities, namely to be here with you. Like, what a beautiful opportunity this is. But more than that, we can come back into ourselves, into the present moment by taking out those screens for an hour a day. If you can't do that, 20 minutes a day, and just really do nothing. Every single day, find a little bit of time to waste. And I can't remember what monk said that. Somewhere. Maybe it was Buddha. I can't even remember. Or the Dalai Lama. Somewhere I read. Wasting a little bit of time every single day is the most precious way to come back into your present moment and to just be silly and play and be with yourself. And that then can turn into a level of trust where, you can take a little bit of a moment to go and play. And then from there, you can release and let go and know that you can trust yourself back enough to get back on track with whatever work you have going on, to go get to the gym and do whatever control as best we can, whatever obligations that you have to contribute to for the rest of your day. That self-trust starts to build, because not only are you going to do this every day, and understanding that grace is a really big part of this. You're not going to get it perfect every single day. I don't even get it perfect every single day. No coach I have ever met gets this perfect. The reason I'm a coach is so I have to stay accountable. That is a major reason why I picked this career. Aside from the passion, another payoff was I'm going to have to stay on track, because I've got clients and people in a community that is looking to me or relying on me for whatever newer information is out there, and I have committed my life to this. And it's something that I don't take for granted. At times it can slip away, but we bring it right back, and I can understand how to get back on track if anything does fall by the wayside. And yeah, breath work, gratitude, visualization, and being really intentional with not only the movements that I'm making on a daily basis, but then like how my brain, I'm contributing to the movement in my mind once my body is moving and going, and I'm staying committed to the plan that I'm on, and I'm staying committed to my coaches. I really start to think about myself differently. And that's what I mean when I say you're going from moving your body to moving your mind, and then coming really nicely and deeply into your spirit by meditation, by contributing to meditation and like journaling, to track, even give yourself the opportunity to track how you move along. Journaling is a beautiful way to do that. And I use prompts with my clients that, ask the question, beg the question, why am I on this journey? How does wellness impact my confidence? What have I done in the last 6 weeks that is different from the 6 weeks prior? And what does my progress look like to me? Because it's always progress over perfection. It is always giving yourself enough grace to not be okay every day, to understand that maybe today I need a rest day, and I know exactly how to get back at it the next day. Little decisions stack up over time. So that's kind of the harmonious way, if it made sense. I hope it's making sense. Are you sticking with me? You're picking up what I'm putting down? I just love this stuff so much, and I love when women want to know about this, because in a world, in America anyway, that wants us to be as small as possible, strength training and being a strong woman is an active resistance against that. And I heard that from another coach, and I really need to start crediting, because that does not come from me. This is an act of resistance, being a strong woman in a world that wants you to be small. And that really struck me, because it can be so easy, for the reasons that we mentioned earlier, women taking on so much of the emotional load of our families, our friends, our co-workers, wherever we are at any given time. It's almost like we've been conditioned to know how to take that. I don't know that we were necessarily born with that, but that feminine divine is tapped into when we are tapped into ourselves. And it might be conditioned. It certainly is the divine feminine when we can understand how to breathe and connect with ourselves, so that our light can shine from within, and it really does manifest outside of us. When we can understand how to harness that, it is a beautiful and most wonderful gift to the world. And for you mothers out there, I'm not a mother yet. I don't know if that'll happen for me. If it does, it does. But for the mothers out there, I have so much adoration for the moms who I get to see taking the time for themselves, because you deserve it. You are worth the effort. It is progress over perfection every single day. And I'm only keen on knowing what any kind of taking care of another person is, because I was a nanny for many years in my youth, and understanding the energy and care that it takes to take care of another human, not only to care for them, but to build their self-confidence and let them know how to manage emotions in this world that just really will get you in the lowest place that you've ever been. And I know we've all experienced some version of that. But to understand how to teach someone to pull themselves out of that is just such a beautiful gift. And for the mothers out there, please hear me when I say that pouring into yourself is only going to allow your children to see you love yourself in a way that no one else can, and it's going to give them permission to do the same. Oh, thank goodness for you mothers taking care of yourselves, because your babies are going to see it, and they're going to understand that it's okay to take care of themselves too, to take time out of every single day to pour into being still, to pour into eating really nutrient-rich foods that are going to nourish their body, and moving around with their friends and playing and having fun. Like, that's just, you're the example. And I really feel like having a women's community like we have here is so very important and necessary and essential, so that we can remind each other back and forth that we're not alone. You never have been alone. You won't ever be alone in reaching out in places like this. This is where we can find that inspiration. So creating sustainable change, like we said, it's the small everyday steps that have lasting impact. It's the power of small, consistent actions. So fitness is not all or nothing. It's a bit of a roller coaster ride, like straight up, for myself even. The secret here, the only time I ever see anybody fail at this is when they give up, when you stop doing. And it makes it a lot easier to continue doing when you have a plan. Now, in the ebook that you're going to get as a gift today, I'm so excited. It does have a plan it's got an example nutrition plan, 7 days. It's got a grocery list. It's got recipes, everything. But it also has an at-home workout and a gym workout. So if you don't belong to a gym, you're not comfortable getting into a gym yet, there's an at-home version that requires only body weight. If you've got some weights, that's great too. You can mold it to what you need. But it really is step by step, and it has videos with it that teach you what it is to move on a daily basis 3 times a week, on top of your walking. Daily walking, strength training 3 times a week. That's going to come in the ebook as well, just so it makes it really easy for you to be able to access this kind of movement and build these new habits and patterns into your life. So with the movement, fueling our bodies, like I was talking about, nutrition, nutrient-rich foods that are going to fuel the muscles that we're building, which I promise you won't get bulky, by the way. Side note, a lot of my women are like, well, I just don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get bulky. Babe, do you have a driver's license? Are you a NASCAR driver? Next question. I'm sorry, I could be sassy sometimes. I don't know what else to tell you. So I promise you won't get bulky, okay? A lot of times it's genetics that have people looking more defined than others, but particularly your nutrition can get you snatchy snatch really quick and make you look toned. Toned and bulky are the same thing. I think when women come to me and they want more of a toned aesthetic, I say, okay, what are you doing nutrition-wise? And we get to talking about their nutrition, and it's just not on point. But it's really easy to get it on point. So fueling your body with balanced foods, protein focus, anti-inflammatory choices are going to get you that aesthetic that you'll look for. Again, as you follow a program day after day, stacking up those every single day choices are going to garnish the aesthetic that you want as a byproduct. This is about building habits and understanding that consistency and commitment will get you exactly where you want to go. And if you have a really great coach who cares about you, who wants to see you win, you're more than just a number to them. That's where you're going to see the real flourishing take place. Because if you've got that self-discipline, beautiful. But the beauty of a coach is it is a gym buddy outside of the gym. So my clients are coming to, they check in with me on a daily basis almost. So if I have a particularly rough client who just is having a hard time keeping up with their nutrition, I will have them send me a screenshot every day of their nutrition for the day, because I have them track it in an app. And they have their macros all written out there that I've calculated for them. And they can count on me to make sure that I'm holding them accountable. And, it is rougher on some weeks than others with certain people, and myself included too. I just want to reiterate that this is not, like I said before, all or nothing. This is a learning opportunity for you to understand who you are on a deeper level and how you can commit to yourself and recommit to yourself time and time again. So nutrition is a beautiful thing, and I can't wait for you to take a look at my sample 2,000 calories, 150 grams of protein a day meal plan that I have in the ebook for you. It's a really beautiful resource that I hope you will love and understand. Part of fueling your body that I want to talk to you about. Are you listening? Because this one is the easiest, okay? Water, hydration. Half your body weight, your current body weight, always half your current body weight in ounces per day minimum. That's what you should be drinking. What changed my life, and I'm going to take a little sip. A water bottle with a straw changed my world. I was so against these water bottles at first, and yeah, they do tip over and they can spill. You can get non-spillable ones. They even have ones that have the straw inside. So amazing, has made it so easy to get the water in that you need on a daily basis because it's right there. You already have it filled up. You just take a swig, no unscrewing the top or anything like that. Half your body weight in ounces per day, and you're good to go, period. And then most importantly, the best form of recovery. Are you ready for this? Oh, it's sleep. This is a tough one. This is a tough one for a lot of my clients, particularly mothers who, only find time at the end of the day, maybe 10 o'clock at night, to have maybe a half hour to themselves before they have to get up at 4, 5, or 6 in the morning to do it all over again. So I know that this can seem like asking for a lot. But again, grace is the name of the game on top of consistency. It's okay not to get it right every single day, but as long as you're striving for it and you have a plan in place where you don't have to think about it, you let your coach do the thinking for you. I have the privilege to do the thinking for you. I have the honor and privilege to do that work, take that brain power off your plate and give it to me. Give it to a coach, because we'll take care of it for you. You just have to do the follow through, the execution. And then on a weekly basis, you're checking in with your coach for measurements, weigh-ins, however we decide that we want to track your progress. It's a really beautiful way to just not have to worry about it. Just do what you do best. Be a mom, be a woman, be an executive, whatever it is that you're doing, you go and do that. Let me take care of the rest. But certainly sleep is a really important one. You should be getting anywhere from 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day. I know that's a lot. But I also know that you probably scroll more than you need to. Maybe you could cut that out. Maybe there are some things in your life that we can go over. If you want to book a free call at the end, I've got that in the ebook too, but you get a free call with me, right? Coach Sierra. Anybody who is interested in coaching with me gets to chat with me for an hour for free. We go over your current fitness level. We go over your goals and what kind of standard of living you want to implement, and we make a step-by-step plan on how to do that if we decide to work together. Understanding what we can trade off and what habits we currently have, and we can write them down, take a look at it and say, does that match my why? Is that going to contribute to my why? Is that going to help me attain that new goal that I have, that I've set for myself? And you really start to understand, and easily, piece by piece, you can see where you can shift and where you can contribute a little bit more energy over here rather than what you have been giving it, and then start to slowly see those changes progress over time to contribute to that brand new standard of living. And there will always be those times. I don't want to say always. I got to stop saying always. Where self-doubt will creep in. Imposter syndrome will creep in. We're women, and I feel like more than anybody, we deal with that on a regular basis. I can only speak for myself. Anything that I'm saying here, I'm speaking for myself, and I only teach from a place that I've been at myself. Other than, being a mom, being a woman just requires you to show up differently because, we got to be on guard a lot of times. And what that calls into us is understanding our triggers, understanding, where we're at in our own life, in our own world, and making sure that we are set up physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to take on the world outside, because it's big and beautiful and it deserves to see you and your gifts. And that's the mindset that I take in, that I try to get my clients to understand and trust themselves by using these little building blocks to build a level of trust within ourselves, to know that we can continue to show up the way that we told ourselves we can show up. It's one of my favorite things that I get to do as a trainer, as a coach, as a behavioral change specialist. There are steps 1, 2, 3 ABC that we can implement to reach that standard of living that you want to live for. I'm repeating that over and over again because I want you to already be thinking, what standard of living am I looking for? What am I doing today to contribute to the standard of living that I have visualized? And you write it down. That's one of the first exercises that I do. What does it look like? What do you look like as your future self? What is she wearing? Is she in a relationship? What does she do for a career? Is there a change in career that you're hoping for? What do you look like? What does she feel like? Where do you want to go beyond that? Can you visualize this and write it down? It's going to contribute to your whys, and take it to the place where, what kind of clothes does she want to wear? What does she want to smell like? What is her favorite perfume? What does she eat on a daily basis? When she does go out, what kind of choices is she making? How is she leading by example for the community that she's built around herself? When you get to those levels and you understand that, the aesthetic is the byproduct of these every single day building blocks being implemented, a whole new world opens up to you. And it really does feel like this aha moment, like I found something that was always in me. I just had to kind of do it every day to figure it out and to trust myself enough to know that I can carry this through. So all of that saying, fitness is not all or nothing. The motivation is very temporary. It is dedication over motivation. I know that has been overused as well, but what I mean by that is, if you have a plan, you can follow the plan, not your feelings. Because a lot of times what we do is we let our feelings dictate our mood and dictate our decision making. So if you have a plan in place, there's no way you're going to skip out on it, because you know what day you're going to miss if that's the case. And you know that you have a coach to follow up with it if that's the case. If you decide to work with a coach. Again, if you could do this yourself, beautiful. Plenty of people have used my ebook and are implementing these by themselves. And it's a beautiful thing to see. However, there are coaches in place if you really want to do some work that requires a little bit more help or a little bit more guidance. Like, that's what we're here for. But just remember that when you do miss a workout, when you do overeat that one time, it's not a failure. It's never a failure. It's data. From that point on, learn from it and move forward. It is data. What is this doing to impact the habits that I have created to build that standard of living? There's that key word again, that key phrase. What is this doing to build me towards that standard of living? You take a second to answer that, and you've got your data is updated. You're a data analyst now. Add it to your resume, because you know how to, because now you know how you can manage your expectations and your trust in yourself and get right back on track the next day. Oh, you have a resilience plan for the hard days. Part of that resilience plan is the plan that you have written by your coach or the one that you use in the ebook. What that means is, and I have these in the ebook too, there's a couple of affirmations. Affirmations are a beautiful way to remind yourself that you can get back on track, or that what you're doing has real meaning behind it. And you have a real understanding of who you want to be by just a few words written in lip liner on your mirror. Or in the ebook, there are little graphics in there. One says, "You're worth the effort." And it's a beautiful floral picture that I've created, graphic that I've created rather, that you can screenshot and use it as a background on your phone. Print it out, put it on the wall, whatever you want to do with it, it's yours. to reaffirm the habits and routines that keep you showing up for yourself so that you can show up for other people. Another couple of examples are, my worth is not defined by my progress. I am enough right now. I cannot stress enough that everything that you're looking for, you already have it inside of you. I know that as we are women here gathered in this summit, this is already an understanding that we have intuitively because we're here right now in this space on purpose with purpose. Growth is something that I'm sure is at the forefront of your mind always. Understanding yourself and how we can connect to our spiritual being in this physical realm is why I am in this space. I truly believe that we are spiritual beings on a physical journey, and we are connected, and there is an energy that can be felt within each of us that's so powerful, so undeniable, and can really be a place that is safe for us to land because we're all going through the same stuff. Yes, in varying levels, but we're all experiencing the same human emotions. No one's ever done this alone. No one's not felt the way you felt before. We've all been in experience in one way or another with the hard parts of life, with the beautiful glimmer parts of life, and it's just a really beautiful thing to have that resilience plan to remind you with those affirmations that you can keep strong and trust yourself enough to stick with this. And just as a part of my closing remarks, I hope that you take home from this the idea that fitness is so much more than physical. It's about feeling home. It's about feeling at home in your own skin, in your body. And that's really what it's allowed me to do, no matter the ups and downs or the plateaus that I go through. Every time I commit to a new plan or program, right? I'm in the gym probably 4 or 5 days a week usually. Whenever I have a new block, a new schedule, and I have that commitment, I always know how I feel when I miss a workout, and there's usually a little tinge of regret. But every single time I show up, I've never regretted a workout I showed up for. I almost always regret the ones that I don't show up for, that I had planned and ready to go. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to start. Your body deserves this care now and forevermore. Again, like I said, 2025 is the year of the overpour. Ladies, the overpour. Okay, there's no more pouring from this half-empty cup kind of stuff. How can we expect to show up for anybody if we're half empty? So 2025 and forevermore, the year of the overpour. Just remember, you deserve this love now, and it is the most powerful act of self-love that I've come across. And I believe that the coaches here in this summit do a lot of the similar work that allows you to truly dive deep and be a part of that mind space and that mindset to connect with you and with the people around you. So get your body moving. It's going to start moving your mind. It's going to start helping you understand that, that morning meditation where I felt really connected and inside my body, it's coming back, and it's being reconfirmed by this movement that I have in my body and this trust that I'm building in myself, that I can really feel deeply who I am in my soul. Mind, body, and soul. Start with moving your body. You'll move your mind, and your soul will drive you new places, because this is the only home that we get our entire life long. You might as well start getting used to taking care of it and making her your best friend. I'm sure she will love you for it. I have no doubt about it that she'll love you for it. I hope that this makes it a little easier, and the ebook really does make it it's a quick, easy read with a lot of resources. I poured my heart and soul into it as a love letter to the women far and wide, as many as I can reach. So send it to your girlfriends, anybody else. I've got the download, and you can send it to them, and I would just be so appreciative. It would just be such a gift if you could share it as a gift with your homegirls too. Lastly, I spoke about a free call if coaching is in your future, if you're looking for a coach. Online, I do have online clients. I take online clients, and this is a space that is very near and dear to my heart because I get you for a week. Every week I get you for an hour. We block off time together to go over your progress and talk about all things fitness and nutrition. I basically provide a nutrition plan for my clients as well as a training plan on a monthly basis. We meet once a week. It's really affordable. I've made this really affordable because I want to reach women who want this work and want to better themselves by feeling at home in their beautiful bodies. And I just always want you to know that you're not alone in this. I am here to support you in building a wellness routine that makes you feel like you're at home. Or even more so, if you're already well into your fitness journey, it doesn't matter where you're at. We can level it up. Always somewhere else to go, something else to learn. Anyway, I hope that once you get moving, you understand that this sparks your mind and spirit, and it reveals new passions and potential that you may not have known that you had just dormant or waiting to creep out from you. Dedicate yourself to moving first, and then from there, the interconnectedness to your mind, body, and soul is just going to empower you and have you fully living unapologetically and 100% authentically. That is my hope and my prayer for all of us here. And yeah, I thank you so much for having me. This has been the highlight of my career so far. I can't wait to do more of these, and I hope to hear from you, and I can't wait to hear from our other speakers. Thank you, thank you, thank you.